I'm the creator of I'm the creator of Crystal Edge Technology Screens using smart technology gain. That's my company, and we make Supreme and the new ambient light rejection 15 and 17. All right, so I'm in here in one of the rooms that I have designed. This room is actually, I call it the grid because it has a microchip, the grid. I haven't got a name for it, to tell you the truth, yet. And this room right here has like LEDs all on the wall. I haven't done the ceiling yet, but some of the ceiling. And this room is designed to look like a giant computer chip, like inside of a computer chip. So what I'm showing you right here is, this is my 135-inch Supreme 12. This is the biggest black 12 we have here besides the 138, 235.1. And some of us asking me about doing a demonstration about when I was doing the silver, that gray screen, that bright, while doing this demonstration on a bigger scale. Well, I told you I have screens throughout my entire house, and the screen you were looking at wasn't my small screen. I had multiple giant screens throughout the entire house. This summer I'm planning to put a 400-inch screen in my backyard. That would be one of the biggest screens we'll have in the area, and that will be used for 3D mapping, special effects, all kinds of cool stuff I'll be doing with that. So this right here is 12 next to these Elite screens, the Cinema Gray 3D, Cinema Gray 5D, Cinema Gray, Dark Star Night, and Cinema Gray. Just to show you exactly that, when I explained to you that even though you saw the technology downstairs being tested, all our screens go through the same rigorous testing, all of them. And they all have to be tested against high performance screens, so I can see how they stack up. Now, the reason why we do the lighter screens against the darker screens is to see how high the white levels come up. And this is how we know how bright the screens are. So usually, like I said, when we see interesting videos being put out on something where it's not, we know they're doing demonstrations against the product and it doesn't look the same way. This is why I can come in here and do a live demonstration in one of the rooms I'm working on and show you the screen displayed with multiple high performance certified screens laying against it. And my screen is actually pretty dark because blacks are pretty dark screens. So let me come over here and block this off just a little bit so you can see how light they are to my technology. So like I said, blacks technology is not going to be able to match like some of the other screens we had downstairs. The 17s can match them with no problem because they have a heightened white level. The technology we developed on the 12 was actually more concentrated on contrast levels, but we wanted a white level that was going to be decent and not basically darken the image to the point where a customer couldn't recognize or see the image at all. And this is why I can come here and show you this. And then there's changes coming, but I mean by changes not for the company, I mean changes as in this room right here. I want to turn this into my virtual room, my virtual den. Like I said, because it's being turned into a giant microchip. As you can see, there's LED lights all over the floor. That PC right here may stay in here or may not. I might be building me another one or setting up another one. So I might have the PS4 in here and this right here. Like I said, I plan to buy my new next gen systems somewhere around in the summertime. With that one, I know there's plenty of them in circulation. If something does happen to my equipment, at least I can take it back because there's plenty of them in circulation to get one back right away. Or get it fixed or repaired if something were to occur or pop up. But I hope it doesn't, because right around in July, Fable's coming out, and I pray to God it's a finished game. Please do not do what those other idiots were doing with Cyberpunk. Do not launch an unfinished game and figure you're going to throw a bunch of patches in there and fix it later on. I want a game, an actual game. This is where Sony and these big corporations have really got to start reviewing these games. They said they beta tested. Sony should have their own beta testers to test these games before they even hit the market, because that was pretty messed up. I thought it was on my end, honestly, off topic. I didn't get any bugs. I got one bug. I got the tree bug where it was raining and the trees were spotting up, but I got one of them. I got that. Other than that, playing the game, I was kind of hunting for bugs. I was hoping something would pop off because I wanted to see this funny reaction, but I didn't get anything. Other than that, the graphics were trash. They just were. They were just trash. They was trash graphics. Yeah, compared to Grand Theft Auto 5, yeah, it can't hold a candle to it. So, reign supreme, Grand Theft Auto 5. Hope to see Grand Theft Auto 6. Can't wait for that to come out. There you go. I think it's interesting how long Grand Theft Auto has been out. And every time you turn around, there's some company come along trying to match them, try to match their open world. No one's going to be the match, so they're just good at their game. They are, and they always have been. They are the kings. All right, so on my hand, just waking up because I needed to sleep. I got myself HDMI switcher because my computer over there, the one I built for like 150 bucks, that one right there has an HDMI port, so I need this for the back so I can run my PS4 and this back through, and a bunch of cables. But I need to so as you can see, the technology and the R12 is maintained in a beautiful blue next to 4 certified projection screens. And to see where my projector sits back, my projector sits back quite a bit. My projector sits back the full length of the room. So this room from here, this is a big master bedroom. My master bedroom, I think from one end to the next is something close to about 18, 19 feet. It's big in here, it's a big room. I also may be bringing up, putting my living room back the way it is because that freaking equipment sitting in my living room, the scanning software is driving me nuts. I don't want it downstairs because my living room is supposed to look like a living room and not a workshop. So I'm thinking about sticking it here. I'm still gonna have my grid here and I'll run this over here. Something I'm not doing. Or I just might just attach an ultra short throw. I should put a stand there for an ultra short throw and have that hit by an ultra short. On that side, build me a nice little shelf here. Stick my ultra short throw up there, and I can display here. All right. Since the ultra short throw is white, it's gonna glow in here. Or I just may take the time to paint the ultra short throw projector, the casing, and an invisible glow. And then that way, when the black light hits it, the whole thing will glow in the dark. Just do all my projectors like that in here. But anyway, as you can see, like I said, and I'm gonna put it out there and say it like it is, for those who, the technology as being so dark that it's unwatchable, that's why it's easy for me to come up here and show you on my 135-inch screen. Can't get bigger than that, can you? Somebody say, oh, your screens are too small. Oh, not in this place. I actually have two of these. I have one here and I have one outside on my deck that's actually covered in snow right now. So there you go. Let me go grab a shirt because I got to set some stuff up in here and I got to do wire management here. I removed the screen from here. That is now downstairs because that's actually loaded with the black slate, the test right there. I got to finish it off today. I'm going to finish today, but I got to do it on Monday because they don't do deliveries on the weekends. As for those of you who've been emailing me, I have to say thank you so much for the support on orders, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, really. I woke up this morning to like 12 orders. I actually fell asleep. I forgot when I fell asleep. Now about 20 minutes from now, the 12 orders staring me in the face. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And we got orders from overseas. Thank y'all so much. I do miss shipping overseas, I really do. Now we ship overseas for free, so I really appreciate that. I gotta get cracking on that. So because of the snowstorm that hit Philly, and us getting some of our supplies in late, we got just about everything in. We start sending out those tracking numbers tomorrow, so everybody's gonna start receiving tracking numbers. Drivers already set to come pick up on Tuesday, and everything's gonna be done. You'll see a bunch of containers stacked up on the table, and orders will be shipping out as I always do. It used to be every Friday, but because of the snowstorm, it's on Tuesday. So we'll be doing another recording ship out date, and I thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Let me see. So let me go change and put a decent shirt on, because right now I'm wearing my ragdag shirt here right now. At least I got a chance to shave this morning when I got up, so that's good. Man, feeling a bit of like a caveman. And you can watch the massive giant screen over here that next to the certified screens. And keep in mind, like I said, this technology, as painted to some people, is supposed to be so dark you can't see it. my shirts. Like, where the frick are my shirts at? I'll tell you one thing. I love that little Japanese style room back there. I spend more time back there than any place in the house. I love that little room so much. I think what I'm gonna do is, like I said, things I'm doing here, I'm gonna transfer over to the new house. I'm gonna do another setup just like that for my bedroom. Nice old Japanese style with tea room, the whole 9-yard theater room, all in one. I love that. Just sitting back, enjoying a cup of tea, watching some shows and stuff. I like that. So, whew. So I went downstairs, had to track me down a t-shirt. Yep, there you go. I told you that when we test our technology, you see us running tests on our screens, the new ones that you see, you're watching the same test repeated over and over, over and over and over, over and over and over again that we do with all our screens. Black 12s go through them, 9s go through them, platinums go through them, black silvers go through them. They all go through the same amount of testing. They have to be tested against high performance screens so we can see how the screens stack up. So that's why I find it interesting that nobody else will do these tests. Not gonna do them. Because they're afraid that maybe the screen that they're maybe using is going to overshadow their screen, and they may have to go back and work a little harder to improve their product. And that's why they'll select certain sample sheets that will match closer to their product, because this gives them the ability to say, look, I matched it. I came close to matching it. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to put stuff up there that you know darn well that may produce a better image due to the fact that it's a lighter screen. Now for me, since my screen is black, I'm gonna choose surfaces that are much lighter, and I'm gonna do demonstrations on bright, beautiful colors to show you that my screen maintains a beautiful white level. If it didn't, you wouldn't be to see anything up there. The trees, all that would be gone. You wouldn't see none of that at all, period. Now I can throw in a contrast level and blow all these screens clean out of the water because my screen can pour a much heavier contrast level because it's black. But that doesn't really show you anything. It just shows you what my screen can do. I have to show you what my screen, or what they're meant not to be able to do. That's why when I show black silvers display a lot of contrast levels across the screen because gray screens are not supposed to be to pull up a contrast level that high. That's why I do it that way. I always do everything the opposite. But if you see people doing stuff and putting their screens in very comfortable areas, very comfortable zones, it's because they're making it to where the screen is pretty much not going to have to struggle and do too much work. Just like these companies up here who put their screens against white screens. Like I said, why base your technology off a white screen? I've never based my technology off a white screen. I'll show you the difference between the black technology versus white screen, but I'm not going to base it. I'm going to base it off your stuff. If I can go toe-to-toe with your stuff, then everything else is pretty much easy. Now, for those who are going to be asking, what is the difference between the Black 17 that we're designing for 2021? The Black 17 has an extremely high white level. As you can see with all the technology under 17 and 15, well, 15s have the high white levels, but we're actually going to convert the blue into a 17. And it's going to be converted to front and rear. But yeah, the difference between that is the Black 17 has the same contrast. It just has an extremely high white level, which I cannot wait to see. As a matter of fact, we should make it like super extreme black with an insane white level. That would be amazing. That would be insane. I really would like to see that one. Oh, that can be done too. Or actually can be done. Okay. It's interesting because when I was on camera mumbling about the ultra bright, I was like, I wonder if we can make a darker version, like a really dark. There's a darker version of it. It's not as dark as that of that black state. Black state's crazy dark. I was like, I wonder if we can make anything darker and produce with a higher white level. And there you are downstairs. We have one sitting downstairs that's waiting to be painted on a much bigger screen. And the reason why, oh, by the way, I can't do any more demonstrations until we finish up the big screen, because it's okay to send up, do a couple of demonstrations on the product while it's, you know, a small sample sheet, you know, it's a 4x4. But in order to do it right, it has to be done on a 100-inch screen. It has to be done on a bigger screen, 92-inch or 98-inch or whatever. It has to be done something bigger than actually seen on a bigger scale, as you're seeing here with this. All right, so I am mapping out some stuff in my room here. I find the Space Invaders on here. So, what are we going to do with this wall over here? Now, we don't have a screen there anymore. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a digital display that's going to run from here to here. That's going to say circuit overload, and just have the whole wall. I'm going to grid this whole wall out. So how's this wall going? It's actually going quite well. These are the leftover lights, and I have to actually run a few more on this side. I'll show you how this is turning out. This is how that's turning out right now. So that's going to run into a giant display, my Tron board. But there you go. I don't even know why people honestly do demonstrations like that to begin with, because pretty much everybody has cell phones and everybody has access to live, and they do know we can come back in here and do the demonstration, you know, as we've been testing out the screen. Another thing I find interesting is the fact that, you know, we display all our live demonstrations. All of them are done live. So I don't know why people would do something like that, thinking that, oh, well, I could see if I was doing it pre-recorded and I was doing a pre-recorded demonstration, then someone can honestly say, oh, well, he's modifying the camera, or maybe he's editing. You can't do that in live. This is a live demonstration. What part of live that some people don't understand? Very simple. It's a live demonstration. Watch me snap my hands in real time, right? This is all in real time. My hand moving around, woo, all real time. All right? Can't edit real time. So that means you could edit real time. You could go outside right now and you could actually pause the world and move things around, edit the way you want to, and then bring it back to reality and everything run the way again. So that's what you're saying, honestly, when you think about it. You know, forget the old YouTube thing. Let's talk about real time. So when you walk outside, you're actually in real time. Everything you're doing out there is in real time. This right now, this falling off the screen, it's in real time. The reason why I say this is because when we have individuals who make statements that he's editing real time, he's using special effects, that means you just announced me to have magical powers, or the ability to be able to manipulate time and reality. That's the only way you can do it. No one has that capability to do that except for God. If you have the ability to be able to have some kind of time machine, you can do that. So, you know, that's the only way. So unless I got the ability to walk outside and say, you know what? I don't like the way all this looks. Let me go in here and let me just pause time, slow it down, and let me move things away around the way I want it. Manipulate the environment outside, move things around. Be able to edit time, be able to move trees from here to there. I don't like the way that tree looks. Let me move that over there. And let me move this building over here, and so forth. Now let me just stop and rewind all over, just play the whole thing back. That's the only way I'd be to do that. So what you're watching here on the 12, performing brighter and more vivid colors with an image that's not washed out or faded in a fully lit environment, is in real time. I had somebody make that comment to me one time. Larry made that comment that, well, somebody, I'm trying to be nice here. I told you that if this individual does what he's supposed to do, and I gave him fair warning, we'll walk away from it. If he doesn't, we'll go for it. Doesn't mean that I stopped my people and people that I've hired from doing what they're supposed to do. It's just on hold. So we'll see how it turns out. But anyway, let's go back to what we're doing here. Now, I've had certain individuals make statements that I had the ability to be able to manipulate reality. I don't know how that's happening. Trust me, if I even had a slight idea or chance that I had that capability, the world would be a much different place to live in, and you would be worshiping me. I'll lie to you not, if I had that capability. But I don't. I'm an everyday man just like everybody else. The only time you can change what goes on in your environment, unless you basically, in real time, you actually really can't change anything in real time. You can alter it, maybe. Maybe if you saw somebody being hit by a car, you can jump in front of them, move them out of the way, and just stop that progress from happening. But, yeah. This right here, uncontrolled environment, actually controlled environment, no. I can never understand what they say about ambient-like controlled environments. Look at that. That's not ambient-like controlled, is it? It's a huge ceiling fan sitting there in the middle displaying. So this is what bothers them. It bothers them greatly. It bothers them deeply. I don't know why. I could honestly tell you. I really couldn't. I think when I saw Black Diamond's technology for the first time, it just made me want to do better. I want to be like them. I've worked harder to be like them or be better than them. That's what it did for me. But I don't know why people get angry over this. What's the problem? Just going to have to keep getting angrier because the stuff we got coming out in 2021 is crazy. It's crazy. The stuff we're working on. Everybody just wants to go through that. Everybody goes through that. I tell people, everybody goes through that. You're always going to have that one. Everybody has that one neighbor. Everybody has that one coworker. You're always going to have that one. And when you want to climb the corporate ladder and you work late at night, and you're the first one to come in, the last one to leave, and you're working hard because you're trying to get someplace. It's something that you want. You're working hard for it. And then you got your coworkers that can't stand you because they want to call you a brown noser because you want to put the time in. You want to work hard. So, you know. That's the crazy stuff right there. And then when you get the promotion and you move up to the top floor and get the nice big desk, you know what I mean, with the windows and all that, you know, you made it to that level now. You can start doing things, upgrading, you know, your house or whatever. You're moving to a bigger house or you're buying a house, you're coming out of an apartment, you know, stuff like that. Then you're going to have your certain groups just not going to like you. That's all. They're not going to like you because you get to use the executive bathroom and the executive lunchroom and stuff like that. And some people get up there and they change. They become different people. Not the same people they used to be. And some people don't. Some people still go down and eat with everybody else where they've been eating at, and they still chill with the same people. Nothing changes about it. But then the corporates upstairs don't like it because they're saying you can't eat with them because you're setting a bad reputation for us. Yeah, it's crazy. Sometimes you gotta make some crazy decisions. But that's how it is. So my end's a little different. For me, I have companies that want contracts with my technology. And because they want contracts with my company, they will cater to a certain clientele of people who can afford it on a level that's insane. Like they can get $4,000 or $5,000 from one of my screens easily. And they'll boast it up with freaking little shows and dinners and get-togethers and conventions and all this stuff. And these people will come in and eat, and they'll give them little gift bags and stuff and say, hey, look, this is the new technology, the investment we're working on with this fellow so-and-so and so. And we got these packages coming out, and these are the demonstrations he's doing against these high-performance screens. Yeah, once in a while, you may have somebody coming in from DMP Supernova or another big company come walking through and saying, oh, what you guys got over here, so-and-so and so. And they see the demonstration of their stuff being outperformed. They're going to want to be giving me a phone call, not within a lawyer, but basically give me a phone call asking, hey, you know, any possibility, you might want to, oh, this thing is pretty cool. Look at this, it's little tiny, is this thing going to work? It's a little tiny switch. My switcher for my HDMI, this is pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, all that happens. But keep in mind, when you get these big contracts, one of the things you will run into is going to be conflicts. The conflicts you're going to run into is conflicts of price. Because then they're going to say, well, look, we don't want our clients peeking at your website and going, gee whiz, I got it for much cheaper because they are throwing a heavy price at it. We don't want them getting it for much cheaper and going over our head and buying from you. Even though it says in my contract, I can't sell to certain places. So say they're in Florida or California, within my contract, it says that I am forbidding, I can't sell to anybody in those particular states. I have to basically send them to these guys, which are going to charge you a freaking arm and a leg for it. But that's within my contract. And in that agreement, they're making the agreement to order 200 or 1,000 gallons from me at $100 a quart. So, yeah. So the conflict of price comes up because then they'll say, well, hey, Berg, guess what? You have a website floating around out there and we need it to be removed because the website is conflicting with our customers. Our customers may try to go over our head and they may try to buy from the website. And if I remove the website, that means you guys, who basically, my customers, will no longer be able to buy the product. You would have to spend the price that they are marking it up for. If you can't afford it, then tough cookies. That's how that works. How I'm able to get around it, as I explained to them, I'm not doing this. I start at my customers first. So either two things happen. Either I lose my contract or, I'm in remote control too, which I'm going to lose. Or I basically tell them that, look, I promise, got my word, I'm not going to sell to any of your customers at all, period. I'll just explain to them that these are for my customers, you know, within these states and so on and so forth. They plan to move to another state, but who does that for freaking electronics? You know what I mean? But other than that, that's how I've been able to maintain. Customer remote control, look at that, cool. Maintain that, but that does come up often in contracts. Conflict of prices. All right, this came with a little cool remote control, which I'm going to lose. Anyway, this is done. I've lost this. Consider this already lost. You see me lose remote controls all the time. This is gone. Unless I Velcro this thing to a wall somewhere. But it's not needed. This is pretty cool. So I ordered an HDMI switcher because I'm going to be running some multiple units on the screen, such like the screen does 4 different pictures at the same time. But I'm going to be running that. So I'm going to put my Xbox Series and PS4. I want to run my PS5 back here. I want to run my PC back here. And this is it. This is the switcher, man. When I was coming out, switches were freaking huge. They were like really big, giant units. But this is freaking cool. I can just Velcro this to the wall. Whoa. This thing actually really works. I should just bring my PS4 system in here and just see if the thing actually works. Yeah, I think I am. All right, so let me come out of here real quick. I definitely have to get a mouse pad for this thing. Now, of course, white levels are always going to come up higher, because like I said, these screens produce very, very high white levels. That's something they do. So, you know, it's a given, it's going to happen. You know, with these other screens, they're just going to produce a much higher white level. But when it comes with their technology, when it comes to color and contrast, they can't keep up. But they're always going to produce a higher white level. Right now, I'm going to do a color pattern on here, and I'll show you. They're going to bring up the white levels, no problem. But when it comes to contrast and all different colors, they're going to fade, as you're seeing right now. And another thing I got to do is I got to get some curtains in here, because every time I fire these things up, I got a crowd of people staring across my eyes wondering, what the freak is going on up there? Yeah, I got to black out some of these curtains. I want light coming in, but I don't want them seeing what I'm doing in here. So I think I'm going to order the curtains tonight, because I had 2 or 3 cars slow down when I was actually finishing up the ceiling. So mind you, and out of curiosity, I go outside and cross the street and just look and go, okay. Looks like I got a discotheque popping off in my house. So now I gotta figure out, I gotta go get me an ultra short throw. I gotta stand this up in order for it to hit the screen over here. Because I really would like to just get rid of that. These are all the short those in here. So I'm stuck in my head for the rest of my life. Trying to use my pants as a mouse, but it doesn't work too well. So if we go into here and type in color. So this is going to be a 10-hour white screen, just to show you the white levels, because I show it off on all my screens. I never hide that from my customers. I always show off my white levels versus just about everything else, to show you how high the white levels are. So that I do show you. All right, so then we come over here and let's bring up red and blue and green and all those colors we do. Let me get this down here because I'm not using this. All right. Because when I show you the white levels, if the image was coming up so dark, it would be really dark, or you really wouldn't see anything at all. It would look like down here at the bottom, right here. All right, so let's come out of here and to the top. I love this keyboard so much better than the other one. The red screen. There we are displaying red. Right there. See, they all react the same way. And all my screens, when I do this test, we always show the white levels first to show you exactly how high the white levels are. And I explain to you if the screen's producing too high of a white level, it's not a good sign. It means, bottom line, is the color's going to fade really fast on it. And for the environment that I'm using right now, considered to this company, I'm supposed to have these screens or argue and say, well, look, you're doing the demonstration wrong. Your environment is supposed to be ambient light controlled. And I'm thinking, like, if I'm spending $3,000 for a projection screen, I really should be able to put it in the environment I want for it to run. Why do I have to dim and control my lights? Because what they're kind of saying to you, I don't know what they're saying, so now I'm just saying, if someone's telling you that you have to use that screen in an ambient light controlled environment, and they're saying the screen is ambient light projection, they're just telling you there are limits to what they can do in the environment, but they still consider it to be ambient light projection, because in a controlled environment, the screen is still considered to be taking on light, even though none of the light is physically going near the screen at all, period. So if this environment is bothering it, then that means that it kind of is what it is. Leave it at that. I won't say any more, say less. Just gives you something to think about. All right, so let's pop out of here. Color, screen, flash, blue. You don't want to see that. That'll give you all kinds of freaking berserk headaches. What the freak is going on in that freaking room? There we go. I swear, that sounds like a theme from a Western. I watch so many freaking Westerns, man. I get used to hearing that theme over and over again. So now we're doing multicolors. I think it's fast to do the multicolors. And you'll see where our screen will change colors, but their screens will actually remain the same or change by a slight little difference. And this is what your projector is actually seeing. Why we use the solid colors is because usually when most people are doing demonstrations, what they're doing, they'll throw a bunch of colors in there to camouflage the scene. You gotta see those solid colors. Are very important for you to see. Let me see. So right here. This is a very darker version of the color change. Back and forth. Some blues and greens and stuff like that. Some yellows and stuff like that. So this is what I mean by this is what you're supposed to be seeing when you're watching these demonstrations. They should be showing you those straight color patterns, and it should be done in a fully lit environment. If they're showing you this in the dark, there's no purpose in buying the product. If they're showing anything in the dark, there's no purpose in buying the product. A screen is not going to have a problem being able to produce an image in the dark. It's going to be much easier for it because there's less ambient light in the environment for the projector to fight with. So it's much easier. It's harder to do it with lights on because it means the projector is going to have a ton of lumens get killed by the time it makes destination to the screen, depending on how far the screen is back and depending on the size of the screen, which is 135 inches. It's quite a large screen. So that's what you have to consider. So if you're seeing people doing certain demonstrations like the pattern test or stuff like that, and they're doing it with the dark on, also too, it can be a fact that the screen could wash out easily too. So they would have a better chance of pulling a black level or color level if they were in the dark. Let's get this back up here. So that's another thing too you have to look out for. You know, things you gotta watch out for. I like this one. We can turn the door and turn out our lights. Those of you, take my LED lights out too, but they're quite bright. There we are. We are in complete darkness in my room. And you can watch the screen change. For those of you going to be using this for your dedicated theater rooms, and you think you are picking up a straight color image from your projector, you are not picking it up. So like I said, when you use certain color screens without our technology, this is what you're picking up in the dark. And this is why you're going and can't figure out why your colors look washed out and you feel like you got to calibrate. You don't have to calibrate if your screen's done right. Screens are still remaining the same in the dark, and if you notice, the screen we're having is constantly changing color. And this is a Christie 505 behind me. It's a 5,000 lumen projector. There's no toy back here sitting behind me. And they still can't pick it up. That gives you something to think about right there. 5,000 lumen projector. In its heydays when they sold it on the street market, they were worth a couple of $1,000s. I'm not talking about $3 or $4 grand. I'm talking about maybe $10,000 to $11,000 what they were worth. This is 5,000 lumens, hit screen, and boom, look at this. That's what you're getting from other companies. That's what you're getting. That's what it is. You're going to hear me say it a lot. It is what it is. That's what it is. People think if they get a more powerful projector, higher lumens, they will be able to pull off those deep, rich, beautiful colors. We don't want to do the fast mode because some people here may have some problems. 60 minutes of gradual shading. So we're going to do this from here. This is just gradual shading of colors, just bouncing forth across the screen to see if the screens are going to show any difference at all. Here comes the blue flashing across. Screen's going to be constantly changing back and forth. See if you see any difference in the color. Now, there's nowhere in the world you should be having a problem. Like I said, 5,000 lumen projector hitting the screen in the dark. So you should be having the same reaction when you turn your lights on. It still remain the same when it comes to color. Nothing should change. This is why we request for certain people to do contrast levels. When you're doing a gray screen, and you've seen black silvers can pull a contrast level in a fully lit environment. They can do it easily. And this is why we request that, because that's something you should be doing. If you're doing a light gray screen, as we do have one downstairs, which is that ultra bright, you see me do contrast demonstrations. You see me test that screen against 10 to 11 certified screens. Everything. We do everything on that screen. If you're not seeing demonstrations like this, you're seeing demonstrations majority in the dark. And if they are trying to do these demonstrations, just to let you know, and this is with anybody, this is with companies, this is with hobbyists, with anybody. If they're doing demonstrations majority in the dark, it's because the screen is going to struggle in a fully lit environment. I can turn my screen, my lights on and off, and that color will remain the same. That's what it's supposed to do. All right, so let's come at it here, and let's go into the famous star field demonstration. This is one of the demonstrations I do request people to do. Oh, look at this purple moon background. This is hot. I gotta do this real quick. It's a purple moon background. Look at this right here. This is why I gotta keep my curtains in here, because I had neighbors tell me, like, why do your lights go on and off and on and off and on? If mind you, if you're sitting across the street, which I'm looking at my neighbors right now with the door open, and you're watching my lights going on and off, you would think that there'd be something oddly strange about me. Wouldn't you think that already from the door? And that's why I gotta get the darker curtains in here. Because I explained to somebody, like, you have electrical problems? Like, no, I'm doing testing in here. Like, I don't want to tell them what I do for a living, because if I tell them what I do for a living, everybody out here has backyards. I would never get a peace of mind. I'd always have somebody saying, hey, Ken, you know, I got this backyard, and can you hook this up and put a screen in the back? I don't want to do that. So you see that? Look at it. Look how beautiful that image is. You couldn't pull it up on the screen. So that means you went out right now and you spent $3 grand for a Dark Star 9. You spent 13 to 1400s for a Cinema Gray, or a Cinema Gray, which is around Cinema Gray 5D. Then you have the Cinema Gray over here, which is around $800 bucks, probably $800 to $900. And then over here you have a screen that is, I think the 3D. I don't know what your 3D runs for, so I really can't say what that runs for. How much the Cinema Gray 3D runs for. And you put on this display in a fully lit environment, you are not going to be able to see what you're supposed to see. There you go. Told you. Can't pull color. That's why if you see that screen we got downstairs called the Ultra Bright, it doesn't make a difference how light your screens or screen paints are. You're not matching that screen. That screen can pull an insane high white level. See how dark those screens are? And they can pull that high white level. They can blend into screens far more lighter than they are. That technology in that first screen hit it in all the 2021 screens. Now, once we get in a screen out there that's the 17, the black 17 that they're working on, or I'm working on it, that screen is going to have an insane contrast level. But that screen is going to have a crazy white level, which is going to be berserk. You know, we're looking at the screen like, good God, how dark this thing is. And when we told a snowstorm, like, wow. Yep. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. Let's pull something out. Let's do the lights out. We'll drop the lights right now. Take the lights out. For our technology, it really isn't a difference with the lights on or off. It doesn't make a difference. It's going to react the same way. Some people, the reason why they ask the lights out, because they feel that they're going to get a better image with the lights out. You know why you get a better image with the lights out? That's because your projector has to fight through less lumens. That's why. That's why you get a better image. The color looks a little bit better and the contrast looks a little better because your projector is now fighting less in the environment because it's there's less light hitting the screen. The image is not going to fade out. Colors are not going to fade out. So that's why the image looks better. That's why people say, oh, turn the lights out. I want to see what the lights out. Because in your environment, you have to have the lights out. Because your image shows up better. Where in my environment, I can have all my lights on and my screen will still look the same way if I have the lights on or off. Doesn't make a difference. That's why it's different for me. So as you can see, look at the color right there. Now let's come in and let's drop our lights. Turn the lights on. And you will notice as I walk in front of the camera, the screen maintains the same dark color and doesn't wash out or fade. This is why when I have people request me to turn out the lights, let me see what it looks like with the lights out, because that's the environment that you're used to being in. Where all my lights are on because I'm being in an environment where it's well lit. I don't go through that problem. My screen's washing out. All right, let's go from here. I like this. I like this right here. I gotta put this in the room. I remember where this is at, which one this is. I'm gonna save that in here. All right, so we did different colors. What's this one right here? Oh, it's the flash screen. You don't want to go near that crap. Man, light. Let me see what we got going on with this one. This is better. We got some bright colors popping up. So some nice bright colors. Let's see how dark our technology pulls up on bright colors versus screens, like I said, that are far more lighter than my technology. Well, my projector again so you can see. They just have you in a room and they're just talking about how beautiful the image looks, and they're not telling you why. You're in the dark and any image on the screen is going to look incredible with the lights out. That's easy. Let's show you something right here. Let's come over here, open up my door from here. All right. And let's see on an angle how my screen pulls up with all that ambient light hitting the screen. Lights on. Lights off. See? Maintains the same thing. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to be getting. Some people don't believe. The problem is that people get these white screens and these screens that are untested, and people testing screens against based off white screens, and they think that's the normal. They think this is what your screen is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be like that. You'd be surprised how powerful your projector is. Even at 720p, how powerful it is. They'll just tell you to go out and buy yourself a 1080p or 4K projector because pretty much they know the screen is going to be loud. And that's what you have to have. In order to have a beautiful image, you must spend for an expensive projector. Let's come out of this right here. Let's go over to, what's this right? 60-minute long. It's a star field demonstration, a clear field. Clear field. Ooh. What the heck is this? Abstract. Oh, I like this. All right. So now, we're going to throw in some black abstract art right here. And this shows you that a lot of the screens up on the market do not have the ability to pull contrast. Even if your projector has the ability to be able to pull outstanding contrast, you have a projector that may have a high amount of contrast rating ratio, you're not going to see it at all, period. I'm going to tell you that right from the door. I'm doing it right here on a black screen with no problem. I can show you the contrast level with no problem whatsoever. Now what's this right here? Oh, this is a remote control that goes to it. Okie dokie. All right, why is the cord so long? It's huge. But yeah, I'm showing you right here. That's interesting. Like I said, 12s have been labeled by individuals that they are so dark that you can't see the screen. Interesting. I showed you demonstration with white levels. I showed you demonstration with colors. I showed you demonstration with animals displaying the screen in different colors and bright levels and so forth, and you were able to make it out with no problem whatsoever. And now I'm showing you contrast. Well, which is the reason why we request that if our screen can show you white levels, we request everyone else to show those contrast levels, and they won't do it. Why? Because we're just trying to do the results. Turn the lights out and see if we get a better contrast level from the screens. Our lumens a bit because, like I said, people might say, well, maybe it's because your projector is 5,000 lumens. Well, if my projector is 5,000 lumens, you really should not be having that problem at all. There's no excuses for it. There's no excuses for it at all. Well, maybe you have too much ambient lighting. There's no excuse for it at all. Period. It should operate one way or another. Close on the screen. I got to bring the Starfield demonstration in too. Yeah, there we are, close on the screen. Showing that 12s maintain their black levels. One of the things I love about 12s. Maintain their black levels. I think, and then people do get upset because I can come out here and I can prove it. That's what bothers them. I can come out here on a live demonstration and I can show this lights on, lights off, and prove it. That's what bothers some people. Just gotta work a little harder. That's all you got to do. Work a little harder. What you gotta do? All my knowledge comes from God. God never sends me technology that's useless. He never sends me ideas that are going to be trash. My ideas come from God. That's why they react the way they react. That's why my screens do what they do. What do you got right here? That's a glitch. It's all different forms of abstract designs and stuff they have on here, which is pretty cool. I gotta get some of these. Ooh, what the heck is this? Background. Let's see what it is right here. Oh, that's cool. That's weird and creepy though. All right, let's bring up Starfield. Starfield. If I'm supposed incorrect, I do apologize. Starfield background. All right, bringing Starfield background. One of the demonstrations we constantly ask all the time for people to do, and they will avoid this at all costs. Now, as I said before, if I can pull off a Starfield demonstration using my black silver, I can pull off a Starfield demonstration using my ultra bright. I don't know why anybody else can't do the same demonstration. If we can come in here and show you white levels, and I could have easily come here and just showed you all contrasts, easily, and been able to dominate the screens with no problem, because my screen's black, but I didn't do that. I came on here and showed you colors, I showed you white levels, white screens, I showed you, like I said, beautiful animals, everything nice and bright. Now I'm showing you the strong points of the technology, its contrast capabilities. So you have to show everything when you're watching a demonstration. If someone's just showing you all bright colors and that's the end of it and all that's done in the dark, there's something wrong there. You're supposed to see everything. The same way I'm doing this demonstration right now, this is how you should be seeing it with either these projection screens out here on the market, the big boys, the certifieds, or anybody who's developing screen paints out there. They should be doing these same demonstrations. Anytime you see me do a gray screen, the first thing I say is I'm not going to do pretty colors on it because the screen can do it automatically. I'm going to show you contrast levels. That's what we need to see. And they won't show you that because if they try to pull contrast level, the screen's going to wash out. And if you know it's going to wash out, then you should just come out and just say, look, it's a screen mainly designed for colors. The contrast levels are fair. They're okay, but they're not where they, they're not, it's going to be as dark as this screen or as dark as that screen. That's what they should be telling you, instead of putting you in the dark and saying, look how dark the technology is, and this is how it is, something you shouldn't do that. Because I will tell you that, no, there's no way in the world I'm going to sell you a black silver and say, oh, black silver has the same amount of contrast as a 12. No, there's no screen that we have in our category that will ever match a 12, unless we develop another version of a 12. That's it. 12s have the darkest contrast because they're black. That's what I'm going to tell you. It is what it is. So let's turn our lights up. My neighbor's trying to deafen me. I'm deafening bonkers. What's going on and off, on and off? I'm in here testing. So there we are. That's what you're actually getting. Even if you have a projector 5,000 lumens, which I'm using right here, doesn't make a difference. You can't pull contrast. Not going to happen. You say, well, my screen, mind you, one of them is a Dark Star 9. That's a dark, dark screen. That's actually one of Elite's top screens, which is a Dark Star 9. It's a darker screen. And I told you, from the color of the screen, you're going to pay more. Now, keep in mind, a friend of mine, he's an investor for my company. He's explained to me, he said, look, all the screens you develop are very dark screens. You could easily get $3,000, $4,000 for that technology by itself, alone. And you know why? For those you don't understand this part. If you buy a white screen is the cheapest screen you can get. It's the bottom dollar screen. That's what it is. A white screen, if you were to buy this, an Elite would probably cost you, and actually this was a white screen before we coded it, would cost you somewhere, I bought the 135 for 260 bucks. That's what I paid the 35 for. But say you got a 100-inch of an Elite screen, you'd probably pay somewhere probably about 160, 180 bucks around that price. All right, that's for a white screen, 100-inch. Now you want to go with something a little lighter gray to give it more contrast, more color pop. Then you go with the cinema gray, $800 to $900. Boom, right there from the door. You want to go with a little darker than that. Then you want to go with the cinema gray 5D. Now you're going to jump from $1,300 to $1,400 bucks, 100-inch only. But you want to go with something much darker to make your HD colors pop, 4K, all that. You know what I mean? You want to go with the top of the line model. Now you're talking about the Dark Star 9. So now we've jumped to $3,000. And that's for a 100-inch. That's it. There you go. You pay for the color of your screen, and you also pay for size. So you're looking at a screen paint right now that's on our website. And like I said, changes are coming real fast. You're looking at a technology that's sitting on our website that goes for around, I think it's on sale for $100 something. That's beating the screen at $3 grand. But like I said, change is coming. The prices are going to change really quick because I have companies now that are interested in the technology and what they can do to utilize it to actually corner the market on basic home theater projection. Do you know that there's a particular company, I'm not going to say their name, that in the projection screen world is considered to be the Darth Vader of all projection screens? Figure that one out, who it might be. I talked to people over, and I've never talked to anybody at Elite Screens before. I have talked to somebody, and I have talked to another individual. But usually most people in the projection screen world, they have their own category and ranks of different screens, and they consider that company to be the Darth Vader. And they're just waiting for the day when somebody comes in and takes them down. Let's just say 2015, if I just put that in your head. All right, so now we got the star tool demonstration. Let's do an outer space exhibit. That'd be really cool. Or just put in some OLED. Let's put the OLED beta fish in. Let's do that one right there. OLED beta fish. I like that one. That's a beautiful one right there. I need to keep that too. OLED beta fish. We'll go with the OLED 4K. Oh shoot. Let me put too much weight there. Beta fish. All right, let's put this one up. Let's do this one here. I got my sound bar and equipment off because it's kind of late for me. I don't want to blast my system. It's pretty noisy, and I don't want my neighbors hearing it over there. I mean, it's around Christmas time. They're sitting with their people and relaxing. No, why disrupt their comfort? So there you go, fully lit environment, and I can show you the demonstration with the beta fish. Now, as I said before, I kept my promise. If I wanted to, I could have brought you-know-who up here and threw them across the screen. And you already know from the door, if these screens are certified and they're struggling, what would you think would happen? Because if I did not basically put my word in there, he would be up here right now against the screen. I wish I could get my hands on a freaking Slate 7 or Slate 8. I wish I could. Let's try this with the lights out, see if the screens are going to show any improvement. And I'm going to get all kinds. Usually, if I did this demonstration over, let's display a little more. If I did this demonstration in ABS forms, the first thing they would say, well, it's not fair because the screens they have, the projector you have where it's elevated at and where it's standing at, it's not really in line with the screen. What do you mean in line with the screen? It's actually right connected to the screen. I can never understand that theory. What do you mean by in line with the screen? So bottom line is certain materials are very, very reflective. And if depending on where the projector is positioning, the screen may not have the ability to be able to show the image. So you have to align the projector where the screen is. So if you take one of these sample sheets and you pull it up, it comes dark. You pull it down, it comes dark from side to side. It has to be in line just right so the image can pull up. That's what I mean by aligning the projector with the screen. So that's what people started going in and basically setting up their projectors, mounting them to the ceiling, and calibrating the projector so you can basically hit the screen correctly so the image will pop up. I've gotten that quite a few times on some of these forum sites where I display a video and they'll say, no, that's not incorrect because it's supposed to be in line with the screen and that's why your screen is projected. And I'll say back to them, well, if I'm spending $3,000 for a projection screen, I darn well better be able to put my projector anywhere I want and that image better be able to pop up. As the protocol that they put in there, for whatever the screen is lacking, they will basically put that protocol in there to say, hey, you have to do it this way in order to optimize your viewing capability. Or you have to have this particular projector in order to optimize your viewing capability. One of the things I get the most from companies that call me, I can't believe 720p projectors in your demonstration. How are you pulling it off with a 720p? Look how much light you have in the environment. See, there you go. Because for them, they're used to doing their demonstrations against a white screen. They're used to using the most top of the model, most expensive, most advanced projector they can get their hands on. And I said, well, keep in mind, if I were to go next to your screen and I use your projector, what do you think would happen? We swap projectors. Yep. This is needed in this decade and time. You have to have, no you don't, no you don't. Now downstairs I have a 235.1, same black technology, except for my projector downstairs is 36 and it's 720p. This is a 1080p projector. I can't wait to hook this up. This is freaking cool. There you go. That's why I show you the color patterns first, so you can see exactly what you are getting. Now let's take this with the lights out, run it back, we'll do the demonstration, lights out, and we'll see if we get any different results. With the lights out, well, the screens has the ability to produce better contrast with the lights out. Now they have less ambient light to deal with. Now, as you can see, as I said before, for technology, again, that's supposed to be so dark, you can see the image crystal clear. Oh, come on, stay up there for goodness sakes. It's you, is it Gilio? What is it? Gilio, stay. Now my projector, they stopped making that one back in 2012. My projector is old and outdated. Very, very, very outdated. And I can produce an image in my environment far better than some of you with up-to-date projectors that do not have our technology. I'm so used to being lit up. I don't do a lot of demonstrations. I think the next couple of days I'm gonna do more demonstrations on this screen. I don't do any demonstrations really on this screen. This is a great screen to do a demonstration on, especially when you're doing sample sheets. We're going to do all certified sample sheets on this screen. And we're going to use that 5,000 lumen projector, Ryan, because you can't pull up on 5,000 lumens. I mean, you can forget about it if you're basically using a screen and you don't have this technology and you're using a projector under 5. Just think about that. It doesn't make a difference if you sit in the lights, with the lights on. See, remember I showed you the green patterns, washing out. Doesn't make a difference if you have lights on or off. Doesn't make a difference. Your screen can't pick it up. So technically, for some of y'all who don't have our technology, your projector setup, you're getting 30% from your projector. That's it. I don't care if you bought it brand new, that's all you're getting. And some of you don't have $3,000 and $1,400 projection screens. Just to give you a heads up on that one. And then if you do spend the money for the projection screen, don't leave it at that. Just give you something to think about. So I always get them calls about, hey, Ken, the minute I turn my lights on, screen washes out, images are bland, I gotta be in the dark, the color doesn't pop. There's a pop with the lights on, lights on. It doesn't pop. Lights on, corner to corner. Straight black and the color pops out. Boom. A lot of work. A lot of work. It's done. Let's go over here. Let's pull up, let me see. We can come out of the comfort zone of my contrast levels, and I can just display my birds. That's it, if I want to. So I have that option. If I want to come out of my contrast level, my deep dark levels, I can do that. And I can display birds, pretty birds across my screen. Well lit, bright colors are popping off the screen. Screens are designed to take on white light. If it didn't, the image would be so dark you wouldn't see it. Let's take our lights out, 6 screens, get other screens so I have a chance. There you go. That's why I show you the color patterns first. It's easier for you to be the process what you're seeing. So nope, end of the day, this is what you got. Let me know. On my end, that's my technology. It is designed to be used on 720p, 1080p, all different projectors. I don't have to worry about my contrast capability. I don't have to worry about the 720p, 1080p. I don't have to worry about any of that. I just go buy projectors. As you see, when I bought those ultra short those, I bought 4 of those bad boys. Doesn't make a difference. It's designed to basically make the projector look amazing. Whether your lights are on or off, doesn't make a difference. That's why I got me a nice ultra short throw setup in the next room over there. I can use it in a fully lit environment with my windows open. See my golf course right across perfectly clear and have all that light push and hit that screen, and I can still pull a Starfield demonstration without a problem. Now, I have a customer of mine who actually is about to have the same setup. His screen's going to be a little bigger than mine, but I suggest him get the Christie 505. That's the one I bought the new lens for. He's going to be setting up pretty soon. We're going to be shipping this product over to him. He's going to paint the whole setup. He's going to be doing a lot of demonstrations for us. But actually, his basement is gorgeous, man. It's actually turned into a movie theater, but he wants to be able to use it also, too, with the lights on, because they're going to have a rec room in there. They're going to have a little section in there where you can do arcade games and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool setup that he's working on, kind of helping him out with that project. I got to send over some stuff from him because he wants those LED lights and stuff like that set up. So I'm helping him out with the project. And he's going to be showing off his display also, too, using our Black 12. There you go. And if you want, pop over to our Facebook page. I had the most craziest thing I've ever seen someone use this technology. We had a customer who had an ultra short throw fill-up projector at 900 lumens, and I was kind of shocked, like, wait a minute, you pulled that off on a 900 lumen projector? So sometimes I get shocked on some of the projectors that people use on our technology. And he was able to do that, bright, beautiful fish in the background, the whole 9 yards. Everybody wants that black OLED projection screen design. They want that old black, that contrast level. That's what they want. And the bottom line is, who's going to spend $15,000, $16,000, $4,000 for an OLED TV? I can do that. First thing people gripe about when you talk about projection screens is, nah, you got to be in the dark and the images don't pop up, the images fade, and I'd rather just go with a TV. And then they see my demonstration on a 135-inch. Let's go pop over and see something else, because I'm planning to do some gaming tonight. There's another one set up. I think I have an ultra short those set up in the other area. Let's go outside. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Birdie, birdie. Alright, let's see. I might do some spacing barriers in here tonight too. Now yeah, let's check out the white levels on the 12 at 135 inches. And let's see how dark the screen gets, where maybe it might become unrecognizable for any of us to be able to see. Look how white that looks in other widows. Interesting, isn't it? Because someone would go back and say, well, I saw Ken just do that a few minutes ago on a 135-inch screen. He did it in several certified projection screens. And they'll say, oh, but he's using smoke and mirrors. He's been able to manipulate the environment. You just called me a god. Literally, that's what you just called me. Because the only one that can actually manipulate live time or real time would have to have some kind of ability or some kind of special powers. This is why someone, I'm just going to say, a company is taking an interest in 12. Always say enjoy things now. Because one day they could just disappear. Right now, we're the only company that has video demonstrations on this level. And go do the research. Find how many people do demonstrations like we do on black screens. You won't find any. I even have a demonstration outside on an ultra short throw projector outside, maxing out at 140 inches, Optima GT 5600 outside. And that was on an 8. I'm a big hit in a way. Now, what does that mean? That means we bring out, once that happens, or if that transaction does go through, that's when we bring out the rebirth of the 17. So like I said, when I tell people that when we develop technology, you think the stuff we have now is considered to be. I said this way before you even knew what 17s were. Didn't even know what 17 even existed. When I said that back and I said, look, if you think the technology, we develop stuff that you have no idea what's going on. If you think that this technology is pretty crazy, wait till you see what's on the back burner, what we're working on. And boom, 17 started popping out. Now we'll say it again. If you think the 17s are crazy, then you should see what's coming up at the end of 2021. I got some dancers in the window. Like, man, what is going on with this guy? Lights are going on and off. Crazy dancing in the window. I love this technology. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. Every morning when I get up, I get to see this every morning. Look how white her levels are. You see how white that is? Look at that. Yeah. All right, so after the 27th, it's the 27th, 26th, our Christmas sale ends. Black ALR clock will be removed. Sorry about that, but it was only available as a Christmas gift from our company, so we will be removing it. Prices will go back to their normal prices as they were. And as for those of you who have been emailing me about the 17th, it's not coming out anytime soon. You're not going to be seeing that technology. That technology is being worked on for probably midsummer when those screens will start launching. Blue probably launches somewhere around February the 7th, around that time. And then we may be able to throw in that ultra bright as a pre-order also too, but we don't know about that yet. Oh, white screen. That's a pretty good idea. We should actually do something like design one of those. Let me go down my hallway. Well, let's go into my room right here. And there we are. Same projection screen technology, but on ultra short throw. For those who've been asking me, is it ultra short throw compatible? Well, this will answer all your questions in one. This is a 720p we're using in here. The other one was a 1080p. Which one's which? You figure it out. This is at 3600 lumens. The one in the back was at 5000 lumens. Is it ultra short throw compatible? Yes, it is. And the projector I paid for in here, I got it off eBay for $150. That's all I paid. And this is my setup in here. I'm gonna watch my TV shows, got my Dreamcast set up. I also have my PS4, which I'm running here right now because I did some gaming with a friend. And I want to go into the other room and set everything up, so I decided to just come here and just chill. Now while you enjoy that, I am going to make myself a cup of tea. Yes, 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 because this is what this room is designed for. I love this room so much, I do. I don't want a big room. I like this cozy setting. Like, I love it so much. Like the gaming room, I like that gaming room better than I like the one in here because it's just got that cozy setting. You know, sometimes things not always the answer. I gotta get some storage tubs too. And I gotta vacuum in here a little bit. I need to be clean and swept in here a bit. Trash. I figured out something interesting with that screen. So this projector does 15:9 and it does letterbox. I have this set up for letterbox. That's how I'm able to fill out the whole screen. If I did this in 16:9, I would just have the bars from the top and the bottom. But I found that letterbox by accident because I rolled over the remote control in my sleep and it popped on like boop, and I was like, what the freak is this? And it was letterbox. It was on my projector the entire time. I didn't know it. Clean. So now I'm just waiting for my AV switcher, which I need down there. Once I get my AV switcher in there, I can do my wire management. And I'm gonna pop the back of that on. I got a piece that covers that up to hide the wires. I'm gonna pop that on as soon as I get my rest of my equipment in here. As for the Power Stone, I don't even know where it's at, to tell you the truth. I still got the same thing telling me from the United States Postal Service that is in transit, but I got a big red dot. So I'm gonna have to order it again. That's all. And when it gets here, I'll just keep both of them. My friend of mine has a Dreamcast. I can send it up to him for free. Good gracious, I spend a lot of my time just giving people free stuff. So I'm not gonna need two. Maybe I'll get something out of it. Here, we've been watching some westerns today. Come out of here. Let's pull up. I wonder if I had to go through to get this channel. Allah. Here we go. D. Oh, I should have spaced that one. Hold on. Keyboard would have been nice with this. Would have been much better with keyboard, but no. Skyward near me is a place call? Is a restaurant? I gotta look that one up. I gotta go through all that just to grab that right there. I'm gonna play back the same demonstration on the Ultra Short Throw projector. That's my little setup right there. Now that screen right there was made with a bed sheet. This is a bed sheet projection screen. Like I said before, when I made the screen, I made it out of scrap wood I had laying around in the shop. Bed sheet, and I'm gonna find that demonstration. Painting the bed sheet projection screen. I'm gonna post it at the bottom. Yeah, that's made out of a bed sheet. The scraps of old wood and a few pieces of rusted brackets. Built myself a screen. While that's playing, come in here into the tea room, my little miniature tea room. And this is my electric tea kettle right here. Look at that. I love this thing. It has a gauge on it. This is actually a fast, I mean extremely fast. It boils water extremely fast. I love that thing so much. And I got my little tang down there at the bottom, a little lemon juice, 'cause I like to put a little lemon, sometimes some sugary kind of sweet flavor into my teas. Yeah, this is what I designed this room for. When I first walked in here, I said, you know what? I'm gonna turn this room into my office / theater room / bedroom / tea room. And I love this spot so much, to be able to visualize, see something, and bring it to life. And I love when I get people in there and I'm doing these visualizations. I'm saying, this is what I'm gonna turn this room into. And the first thing they say out of their mouth, like, oh, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about. And then boom, so here's the room all set up. My 79-inch portrait mode screen right here. My little office area. Yeah, I got a Japanese kneel pillow. That's what I got in here. I sit down and kneel here. I do my work, or if I want to, my keyboard's wireless. I just go sit over here and just chill, and I can operate my screen right from here with no problem. Set up here. I'm gonna get some items for this, some knickknacks for that. And man, I like this. Took the doors off completely, put some Japanese doorway curtains in, and I like the color. The color is that I told you I used that showstopper and mixed some black paint into it, stirred it just enough so I had lines in there, so I can get some areas a little darker, some areas a little bit more lighter. Got my projector set up over there, so I can set up a portrait mode. Right there, got a nice little curtain that comes down and covers that up. This is a dressed area. Mine, this right here, shower curtains. These are shower curtains right here. Shower curtains. Then I went and got my Japanese lamps. I bought those right there. I purchased them. Got one over there right there. This is a table I got over at Home Depot for around 50 bucks. Used me a light little top paper to give a nice little wooden look to it. And then so the legs would match with it a little bit. They give a kind of a bamboo look to the legs. I went out and got some wood repair tape they use for binding up and covering up scratches and stuff like that. And then my little stands here and there, I purchased them for 36 bucks. And then I went over and I got myself a nice little Zen garden right there, or Zen fountain. Yeah, nice little setup here. Cost me under 60 bucks, $150 for the projector. I got the sound bar and sub for 130 bucks. And let me see, and the screen pretty much, I mean, I designed the technology anyway, so even if it would have cost me 160 bucks, I still would have been way below $600. Bed sheet for the projection screen, and went out and bought myself a fire stick right there that cost me $39. That's it. There's my setup right there, done already. And still some money left over. If I were to set up a system for maybe $2 grand, I'd just redo the whole room. Yeah, I love this little setup. And then since I can sit over here, bought myself a nice little microphone system. If I want to do some speak chat or whatever, got that all set up in here. So yeah, I love this little setup. So there's my tea kettle in there, making my tea right now. And also too, got myself a tea warmer. Oh, I love that thing right there because I can sit in bed, warm my tea up. Next thing I got to get myself a little snack containers. I might add some in the tea room. This is a little tea room right here, my tiny tea room. Turn it into from a closet. I might put some shelves here and here with some areas where I can put some snacks, cookies, stuff like that. I might want to eat, stuff like that. And I'm going to add a light into here, you know what I mean? But this right here is a Japanese tea organizer for my teas. So I come in here and pop this open. And I have all my different teas all selected in here. Yeah, I love this. You want to get away from the madness, you can build what you want. And I built all this around a projection screen. Because the idea when I first started this project was just to do the wall, leave the rest of the room the way it was, and just set this up to have some kind of display to show people when you set up an ultra short throw setup, this is how you're supposed to be using it, like a TV. If your environment is in the dark and you're using ultra short throw, there's a problem. There's a serious problem there. You're supposed to use this as you're using a regular TV. That's what they're set up for. Why would you be sitting in the dark to begin? You know? But things just got out of control and decided, let's do the whole room. And there we are. Let me see. So my tea's just about almost done. So they've done over there. So I put on my tropical fish. Now you don't use these overhead lights when I'm in here, but if I want to, I can. I have options. That's the whole purpose, is to have options. If I want to use my overhead lights, use my overhead lights right now. So I'm getting ready to set up for my tea. So what I'm going to be drinking, I'll take it over here quick, because I got to figure out what I'm going to drink. So I went out and got a black cherry. I haven't had black cherry in a while. So get a black cherry. So is this brother in here showing us how to making tea? Yeah, I'm here making tea. I like the cherry. There we go, drop the tea bag in there. Put that back in there. That cherry. Now I'm going to get myself the bone china. This is for right now. But I'm going to get myself a bone china sugar dish or sugar bowl. I'm going to order one probably tonight. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that's a lot, but I usually have 4 teaspoons of sugar in my tea. Some people are like, that's a lot of freaking sugar. Yeah. Then I like to have a little tang in there. So I put a little tang in there sometimes to give a nice little taste to it. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. So we're going to put him right there. You don't want too much in there, because then that takes away from the tea itself, and then you have the sugary sweet kind of taste to it. Just washes out. You just want a little bit in there to add a little bite to it. And that's it. I'm just going to sit here and wait for my tea to finish up. Get the fish. And there we go. We're done. It just clicks. So it makes this click sound. Let you know that it's already finished up. So my tea is done. And there. Let me grab my tea kettle. So I'll show you this. So this is an electric tea kettle. Right there, there's the gauge on it. When the gauge goes all the way down, it means it's hot. So it takes only a couple of minutes for it to go all the way around and it's hot. Dirt on my tea kettle. This is what I wanted. I wanted to build something like this, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money. That was the whole purpose. Not to spend a lot of money. To do it where it's not going to be expensive. I got the tea kettle for around $60. A little expensive, but it was definitely worth it. I pulled the trigger on it. It was definitely expensive, but you know, $60 for tea kettle, that's a lot of money. But it was worth it because, number one, I don't have to have any flame or anything up, which I don't want up here to begin with. And then number two, I can heat tea at an extremely fast rate. And I come over here, my area here. There we go. And my tea warmer. So I'm going to sit back, enjoy my technology, and I'm going to watch some Western movies today because that's one of the things I enjoy to watch when I'm in here. I love watching my Westerns. And I wish you guys, ooh, what do I got right here? And it's John Wayne. I'm not a big fan of John Wayne, but I do watch his stuff, to tell you the truth. I do get down with some John Wayne. And I'm going to enjoy my movies and relax for the day. Thank you all for your time. Like I said, the sale is going to end on the 27th. Also, too, thank you all for your support. I do appreciate that. And I have to go, and God bless.